This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this Zinger 2021 Zinger Lite, model 252BH. Alright, so let's go walk to the rear here. You see you have power stabilizers. You got one switch operates both rear, and another switch up front operates both front. You don't lift the trailer with these now. You just take the shake out of it, take the wiggle out of it, so it's stable. So keep that in mind. Alright, let's look down here. Okay, cool. We got storage here. Power awning with LED. Outside speakers. There's a TV hookups here. You got steps that fold into the trailer. To adjust the length of the legs, you just pull these pins. There's one on each leg, and you can slide them up and down and adjust them accordingly. Alright. There's the front switch for the stabilizers. This is your Husky centerline hitch. We'll show you how that operates when you pick up your trailer. Okay. This little crank here is for the power tongue jack. In case it fails, if it ever was to fail, you can just pull this cap off or unscrew this cap and put the crank on there and crank it manually. Alright, you got two LP tanks with an automatic changeover regulator. You got a deep cycle marine battery, and this is the kill switch for the battery, so you can shut the battery off when you put it in storage so it doesn't drain down as quickly. Alright, let's see what else we have here. Now, this vent is for the range hood. There are little tabs right here, so if you're going to vent using the range hood fan, move those little tabs so the baffle flaps freely. But when you're not using it to vent, just keep it shut when you're traveling or storing or whatever. So only open those up when you're going to be venting the range, okay? So this is your freshwater fill here. Let's see here. This is the most common way to get water to your trailer right here. It's the city water hookup. So you put your hose on here, turn it on, and you're all set. Now if you go to a campground that does not have plumbing on the campsite, you can pre-fill this tank, your fresh water tank, and use the onboard pump to pump it. I'll show you where that's at, where the switches are when we get inside, but that's for, you know, like state parks. A lot of the older ones especially don't have plumbing. They got a fill station when you first get in the door, or go through the, wait a minute, I'm sorry. When you first go through the gate, there's a fill station there. So you would fill it there, and then you can use everything just like you've got city water hookup, but you'd be pulling from the tank, okay? Alright, and also there is a drain down here somewhere. Ah, there it is. You can see the white handle there, hopefully. There's a T-handle on a gate valve. That's to empty your fresh water tank. Alright, also you got a 30-foot, 30-amp cord. This is an outside shower here. Okay, just clean it off a bit. These are your dump valves here. So you got the black is obviously for the black tank, which is toilet water and waste. The gray is for the gray tank, sink and shower water. So you dump the black first always, because it's the dirtiest of the water. Then you'll dump the gray water. You keep your black valve open, and you can hook your hose at the dump station right to here. And that's the black tank flush. So you turn that on and it'll spray out the inside of your tank and clean it out. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see. Okay. So this is this cable and satellite through. This is your water heater. The switches to operate it are inside. Just so you know, this is where you drain it right here. You can see it right there. Okay. But the switches to operate it are inside. Now you have to bypass this water heater when you winterize the trailer, before you winterize the trailer. Right now it should be ready to be camped in. All the antifreeze is out of the system. It's been replaced with fresh water and it's ready to go. Okay, so this housing tells us this is pre-wired for a backup camera, so we do sell them here. If you're interested, you can get a backup camera for it. Also, while we're looking up, you want to remember to inspect the roof every 90 days. You're going to look at the sealant on the roof and make sure there's no cracking or separation. You're going to look at the roofing material, make sure no low branches or road debris flipped up there and damaged it. Look at the vent covers. Just give it a good look over, and if you ever see something wrong with it, something that's suspicious or needs to be taken care of, do it immediately, okay? That's very important. Every trailer owner needs to inspect their seals. Okay, so let's go inside here. Okay, so this is your control panel here. You got your power awning right here. Never leave the awning out unattended. When you put it out, and you leave the campsite, make sure you roll it in so the wind doesn't come up on it and damage it quickly. Okay, let me see here. And that's your light strip there. Okay. This is your water pump. I told you there's an onboard water pump if you're drawing from the tank. You use that. That's also used during winterizing. Your water heater lighted on gas, and you can light it on electric. That way, that's the most common way to do it. Keep in mind, you always want to make sure there's water in the tank before you turn on any energy source. Your battery's charged. You can see fresh water's got 2/3 of a tank, but we'll jump that before you pick up. Black tank is empty. Gray tank is empty. Gray 2, I just don't know if you got 2 gray tanks. I think you only have 1, but this is a standardized panel. So, okay. The controls for your air conditioner are on the air conditioner. Your thermostat for your furnace is right here. Just an analog thermostat, and you'll click this over to the left to turn it on. Click it over to the right, and I mean click it all the way so it clicks off when you're shutting it off. You got to make sure you do that. You set the temperature down here. Okay. All right. So this couch jackknife's flat, I believe. Yes, a jackknife. So jackknife's flat, and you can turn it into a bed. So you have your bed here, and you can store some storage underneath there, as you can see. That's your emergency escape window, and TV hookups for the bedroom right there. Okay. Your sound bar. It has a remote, but let me walk closer so I can show you. You can stream off that USB there. You can also stream wirelessly using Bluetooth from your phone or tablet. You got 2 speaker zones, A and B. A is inside the trailer, B is outside the trailer, and it has an FM radio, so there's a lot you can do with it. Okay. This device down here is your carbon monoxide LP gas detector. So if it goes off, obviously you take everybody outside, leave the door open, shut the gas off at the front and figure out what's going on. If it beeps very slowly, it's telling you that the battery is low. So here, let me set it off here for you here. LP test, now carbon monoxide coming up, and low battery. And then it goes back to green, so it always should be green. If not, you get it serviced. And if it's low battery, that's part of the alarm system. I mean, this runs from the battery, for example. So it has to warn you if the battery's low. That's why it would be telling you that it's too low for it to operate correctly. Okay. All right. So this is the range hood. I told you about opening the baffle on the vent outside. You got a fan and a light. Your microwave works like any other microwave. Your range. Okay. This is the sparker. You turn it clockwise to spark. I don't know if he's got the gas on. Let me see here. So what we'll do is we'll turn this to on, and we'll spark it. Yeah, so it lit, so you can see. I turned this clockwise to spark it. Now if you want to light the oven, it's a little bit different. It has a pilot light. So all the way to the back at the bottom is a pilot light. I can spark it to show you, if you can see that. Okay. So what you do is you come to the knob that's all the way to the right. That's the oven knob. You go to the picture of the flame, which means pilot light, and then you depress it and hold it in. You hold it in during this entire procedure here. So then you're going to spark this by turning it clockwise until the flame down here lights, the pilot light lights. Once it lights, you still hold this in for another 10 seconds or so to heat it up. You go to operating temperature. Of course, when you shut it off, the flame goes out, of course, but so does the pilot light. So you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. All right, let me close this. You always travel with the glass cover down. Okay, so this device down here is the power converter. It converts AC to DC power. So it starts with 110 AC and then converts it to 12 volt DC. Everything it can run on DC power in this trailer does. Okay, some things like the microwave and the air conditioning, they have to be AC. But most things are run on DC, 12 volt DC, which is like battery power. Okay, so you got regular circuit breakers like you'd see at home. Then they're all labeled here. Then the power, that's 110 AC. Then the power is converted down to 12 volt DC. Over here you got regular 12 volt fuses, and they're all labeled. So if any of these fuses were to blow, they'll actually light up, and you'll see them through this tinted plastic here, glowing. Also, when you're plugged in, this is a battery tender. It'll sense how much energy your battery needs or has. and if it's low, it'll send 10 amps up there to charge it. If it's, for example, or if it's charged, it'll just trickle a couple up there to keep it charged. So it's semi-smart in that sense. It'll just send what's needed up there. Okay. All right. Of course, your table, the posts pull out of it, and you can drop this down and turn it into a bed. And of course, you have 2 more bunks back here. Okay. I'm just looking back here. That looks like the access. There's a screw on each side. That's the access to the back of the water heater, just so you know. Okay. This is a 12-volt refrigerator, compressor refrigerator. So basically, it's very simple. It's on and off. Set the temperature, and then there's a daytime and a nighttime mode to save energy, that sort of things. But it's just basically it's very simple. Turn it on and set the temperature. All right. Okay. The bathroom. The sink and shower work like any other sink and shower. Always run the fan with the shower to pull the humidity out. And with the toilet, if you haven't owned an RV toilet before, this is the flush pedal on the front here. When you step on that, water will come out. Now there's no water hooked up. There might be some residual pressure. We'll see. So you see me step out of here. A little bit of water comes out because we're just going off residual pressure. The black tank is directly below. So when I say dry, I'm actually talking about the black tank. You can't run this dry. So it goes like this. When you get to the campground, you hook up your power and your water. Then you come inside. You got your chemical, a dose of chemical in your hand. And you'll step on the pedal and let the water spiral into the black tank till you get a gallon or whatever, just some water in it, right? And the chemical. You can't start off with it dry because the smell will be overwhelming, obviously, and it can also get clogged up. So you always start, when the black tank is dry, you always start with water and chemical. Okay? All right, that's important. If you do it, you'll only do it once. So let's put it that way. Okay, so let me just look around and see if I forgot anything. I think I covered most everything. Okay, yes, I believe so. So, I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. And I want to remind you about inspecting the roof and the seals. That's very important. Trailer owners generally don't do it enough, and I can't tell you how important it is. So you're just going to look for issues, and if you find it, sometime you probably will, you get it taken care of immediately. That's why you're inspecting it. 9 times out of 10 you're not going to have to do anything, but you're just doing it to keep ahead of it. Okay? Thank you very much.